A billionaire mysteriously died in his mansion on the night of his 80th birthday. To uncover the truth, the family hired the nation's top detective. The detective discovered that this seemingly harmonious family was actually full of secrets. The billionaire's eldest son had already passed away 3 years ago, but the son's wife concealed his death to swindle money from the billionaire. The second son managed the billionaire's newspaper company, but due to poor management, the billionaire took it back from him. Only the daughter was a successful entrepreneur, but her husband had fallen in love with someone else. The day before the incident, his affair was discovered by the billionaire. The billionaire's most beloved person was his grandson Jack. Coincidentally, the day before the billionaire died, Jack had a huge argument with him. He left the mansion without even having dinner. Based on their descriptions, the detective roughly pieced together the events. After the birthday banquet, the billionaire returned to his room and had his nurse assist him with his care. Less than half an hour after the nurse left, the billionaire mysteriously passed away. It seemed the biggest suspect was the nurse. She was the last person to have contact with the billionaire before his death, and she had a peculiar trait. Whenever she lied, she would vomit. So it should be easy to uncover the truth. The detective had the officer in charge of the case recount the details. It turned out that because the staircase was old and in disrepair, every time someone walked on it, the noise would wake the billionaire's daughter, who suffered from insomnia. That night she woke up 3 times. The first time was when the eldest son's wife heard noises upstairs and rushed up to check. The billionaire said he had just accidentally knocked over a chessboard. Less than 10 minutes later, the daughter was woken up again. This time it was because the nurse had left the mansion. She was spotted by the second son, who happened to be standing by the door in a daze. 15 minutes later, the daughter was woken up a 3rd time. This time it was the billionaire going downstairs to get something to eat. The second son reminded his father to go to bed early. At that moment, the billionaire was still alive, so the nurse could be ruled out as a suspect. After these 3 incidents, the daughter was never woken up again, and the only way to reach the billionaire's room was through this staircase. Everything seemed to point to the billionaire committing suicide, but the detective felt that things were not as simple as they seemed. He interrogated the nurse alone. Her description matched what the others had said, and she showed no signs of vomiting. The detective could only search the house for other clues. He went to the surveillance room to check the footage from that night. At that moment, the nurse looked visibly nervous. Just as he was about to investigate further, the billionaire's grandson Jack arrived. Because today was the day the billionaire's will was being read, the detective had no interest in the family's fight over the inheritance, so he went outside to inspect the house. That was when he discovered a ladder leading to the billionaire's room. Inside the billionaire's room, he also found a secret door. Just then, the lawyer inside the house began reading the will. To everyone's shock, the billionaire had left his entire fortune to the nurse.